What's up, everybody? This is your boy BlueZ here with another OU Showdown battle. If you've been watching my past episodes, you're probably familiar with the team that I usually use, but today I'm going to be posting a video with a slightly different team. This is actually a team that I made before my normal team, my normal OU team, which has Breloom, Greninja, Hippowdon, Sylveon, Mega Charizard, Y, and Tentacruel. This is actually a set that I made with Styx a little while back, that's mostly based off one of his old OU builds. So if we take a look at our team preview for this battle, I wanted to use this because I was derping around with this team on Showdown the other night, and I had this really good battle that I wanted to show. There was a lot of really good predicting, and there's a moment at the end where I corner my opponent, which was kind of fun to toy with. But anyways, I battled a person by the name of BST2342, and the team I ended up using was Mega Pinsir, Blissey, especially defensive, Lando T with Stealth Rocks, and, Intimidate just for kind of defensiveness, Rotom Wash, which was like my huge defensive wall, Breloom, normal Breloom set as usual, and a Choice Scarf Heatran. I remember back when I was using this team more, Scarftran wasn't as popular, and I think it's kind of gone through its phase. I don't see it a lot nowadays, but I know, it's very easily dealt with, especially with a lot of new builds these days. But looking at his team, there's a couple interesting observations that can be made. Blissey is going to be a perfect switch-in for Florges and Alakazam, especially considering that I'm guessing his Alakazam could be his Mega, though his Garchomp could be as well. Probably Alakazam. And my Blissey is going to want to stay away from his Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is going to be an interesting pivotal poke for BS2342 because he actually has a lot of moves that can take out most of my pokes. Heatran's probably going to end up blowing through Skarmory and Regice. I don't even know how to say his name, but he's probably going to end up blowing through those two, and BS is probably going to want to keep those two out of the way as much as possible in this match. The really nice thing here is that BS doesn't have anything on his team that is going to absorb a Spore from Breloom, whether that be a Sap Sipper or a Grass type. So, Breloom is going to be a wonderful lead, gonna Spore whatever either gets thrown out there for, his first poke or whatever gets switched out. And then I can worry about bringing in Lando T to put up Stealth Rocks. Heatran and Pinsir is probably last resort kind of revenge killers. Rotom Wash does his thing. So without further ado, we are going to start the match right now. So I'm going to lead with my Breloom. BS leads with his Conkeldurr. Spore. Right off the bat. That's a sleeping Conkeldurr. That's really nice. And then a Bullet Seed right to the face. He doesn't switch out, and that's half of Conkeldurr's health gone. He makes a safe move and switches to Skarmory, and seeing that I'm probably going to use a Bullet Seed, which isn't very effective against a Skarmory, and his leftovers pretty much heal all that back. So I switch in my Rotom Wash, which is going to be a nice wall against Skarmory. He uses Stealth Rocks and then switches to Florges, and I try using Will-O-Wisp, and it misses. Hacks. Then Florges is able to use Aromatherapy as I switch in my Blissey, but Blissey just absorbs that Moonblast like a boss and is able to throw a Toxic in Florges' face. Here's the interesting duality with Blissey and Florges. Both of them are very similar. They heal, and they use Aromatherapy to heal conditions on team, except the nice thing here is we both do about the same amount of hack damage to each other, but I have Toxic. So now Florges is trying to heal itself and its team while dealing with Toxic and attacks. Eventually, after some derping around, he switches out to Conkeldurr and I switch out to Rotom Wash, which is an interesting matchup, but notice that his Drain Punch really does pack a powerful punch against my Rotom Wash, and that's not going to be nice. I try toying around a little bit with if I can Pain Split, the difference in the Drain Punch, kind of just keeping the health going back and forth. And even though Conkeldurr is losing a little bit amount of health each turn, I'm losing a little bit more, and so I'm eventually going to want to switch out, which is what I eventually do. The interesting thing is, when I switch out to my Lando T, using Intimidate to drop his attack, he actually uses Knockoff instead of Drain Punch, so props to BS for predicting that switch, but I get a little cocky and I use Stealth Rocks, and he uses Ice Punch to take my Lando T out, so that's already one of my pokes gone. I try to mess around a little bit with Rotom Wash to see if I can bring his Conkeldurr down enough with Pain Split and kill it with Hydro Pump, which ends up happening. He brings out his Alakazam, and that's the perfect switch-in moment for Blissey. He ends up using Psychic and not Mega Evolving on the first turn, but then Mega Evolves second turn to try to Focus Blast me, and the Focus Blast misses. But even when the Focus Blast does hit Blissey, it only does about 35% health or damage, which isn't a whole lot, especially because I can just soft-boiled almost 2 attacks worth away, Toxic his Alakazam, and just kind of stay alive until his Alakazam dies. That's one of the nice things about Blissey, why some people will say it's broken, why I like to troll around with it a little bit, and he switches into Florges. I can understand that he wants to use Aromatherapy to heal his Alakazam, but he has to remember he has Stealth Rocks on the field, and he's trying to keep his Florges alive against a Blissey. He does the right thing, he does some wishing, and he ends up protecting. He isn't able to get an Aromatherapy up yet, but I'm gonna do some tricks. I'm gonna, predict basically when he's gonna protect and when he's going to attack. He finally gets an Aromatherapy out at the cost of his Florges. Now, I don't know if that's the right choice or not, that's what BS chose to do. Props to him for taking that choice and running with it, but that means that I can Toxic his Alakazam again, and his Alakazam can't get healed by another Aromatherapy. And what that means is he can keep hacking away at my Blissey, and all my Blissey has to do is keep using the soft boils. So Blissey ends up taking out Mega Alakazam, which is nice. He brings out Garchomp, and at this point, Blissey isn't that much of a help. He can't really do a lot of conditions on my pokes, so Aromatherapy's not going to work, and I don't need a especially defensive wall anymore, so I just kind of see if I can get some hack damage off on Garchomp and then take him out. Rotom Wash was a failed attempt. I tried to bring him down some more with Pain Split, bring out Mega Pinsir, and Mega Pinsir takes an Outrage like a boss with like 1% health left, and then uses a return, gets some recoil damage, and then both, my Mega Pinsir and the Garchomp go down. So then it comes down to this little thing. He has Skarmory and Regice left, and what poke on my team is going to tear through those two pokes? Heatran, my completely untouched Heatran. And so that means that I can just bring in Heatran with the Scarf and just plow through his Skarmory and his Regice with, I think that's a Flamethrower. I kind of went with a set here that I didn't want, to have to deal with any less accurate moves. I wanted 100% accuracy, and that just did the trick against the both of them. I like to have Breloom around in my back pocket, especially if it doesn't lose its Sash on the first turn, which is the case here, so that's why I kind of kept it. But I knew Heatran was just going to plow through the rest of his team. So, again, I don't usually play with this team, but kind of brushing up on it is nice, and it turns out this was a pretty good strategy for taking care of BS's team. He had a good momentum going for him at some points. Props to him. He had some really good calls. But ultimately, I was able to use the right pokes at the right times to take out, most of the threats to my team. So this was a fun battle. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to battle me, talk to me, anything on Showdown, find me. I'm either TTM BlueZ or MockZ. Come find me, talk to me. It should be a good time. The other thing, I've been looking into some Pokemon emulators and kind of modded games, and the one that caught my attention is the wildly popular Pokemon Zeta and Omicron, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a segment of just a clean run-through of Omicron. Knowing me, I don't know anything about Omicron at all. And I guess I played X and Y, but I'd be going a little bit, I wouldn't be going in with wet feet to say, I think that's the phrase, I wouldn't be very experienced going into the GBA sort of Pokemon world. So it would be very much more of a playthrough than like a walkthrough or like this is what you're supposed to do. It'd be more of oh, let's have fun playing a game kind of thing. Kind of how Styx played through one of his Soul Silver mods. So if you guys would like that, you can leave your thoughts in the comments below, and you can like the video, you can subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed yet. Keep up with the Summer Showdown tournament. Other than that, I hope to see you guys next week. I hope all you guys have a great week, and I will see you later. Wobbuffet.